Insert obligatory Sapphire Falls comment here. Look at how big it's getting. More importantly, look at the cranes back there, behind Cabana Bay. That's the stuff that folks should be talking about, because there's a lot of work going on back there already. Look at that. Volcano Bay, anybody? Happy Monday, everybody. If you guessed that we were going back to Universal Studios today, you guessed right. We're going to do a little special video just about Halloween Horror Nights, get you guys grounded for this year's event. We're less than 2 months away, so let's check it out. Alright, so what I'm hoping to do here is at least give you a little bit of a primer, because we know that Halloween Horror Nights is coming up within 2 months. We've done a bunch of videos in the past about Halloween Horror Nights last year, as well as we've done articles for Ideology of Madness, and you can check them out below from prior years. Check out either my work or Paul's work covering the event for the last few years. You get a good idea of what's happened in prior Halloween Horror Nights events. Also, check out the Tim Tracker's channel. He's got a lot of great videos from Halloween Horror Nights in past years as well. And you could always check out Ideology of Madness or Orlando United online for up-to-date news. They do a great job at covering the events as well. And with that said, let's get into it. And what you should know so far this year is that Halloween Horror Nights tickets are on sale already. This is their 25th year of doing Halloween Horror Nights. It's a big deal. Jack is back. Jack the Clown is an iconic character for Universal Studios when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights, and will be featured prominently throughout the event. You can find out ticket prices online at the Halloween Horror Nights website address, and we'll leave that link down below as well. It's easier to do it that way than to have a bunch of messages from folks asking, well, what would it cost for this day or that day, etc., because all of the pricing information is down below at HalloweenHorrorNights.com. A lot easier to find that way. Halloween Horror Nights is a night-only event. During the day, there is no Halloween celebration at Universal Studios. This is an adults-only event. It's not meant for little kids. It is a very scary event, meant more for adults. Trust me, there's always kids here, little kids, and they always seem to be screaming. It is not meant for little ones. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is a great event for little kids, as well as the events that are run through SeaWorld. In addition to tickets being on sale, Express Passes are also on sale. I highly recommend Express Passes when you attend Halloween Horror Nights. There's a good debate on whether Express is worth it, even if you're coming for one night, or if you're coming for a multi-range night, a package that they may sell like Rush of Fear, which includes multiple dates. I always recommend going Express. Lines for houses to get in to experience one of the mazes or houses that Halloween Horror Nights puts out tend to run at least 30 minutes to sometimes upwards of 2 to 3 hours, depending on the time of season that you're coming to visit. Additionally, Universal has packages that you can buy. Like I referenced before with Rush of Fear, they have multiple block tickets where it allows you to come for like the first 3 weeks, unlimited to all of the dates, or weekend only dates, or Thursday dates or weekday dates, and they also sell packages through their hotel stays. I would recommend checking out the website to see all the different packages that they have. Additionally, they offer RIP tours. It's not a VIP tour, it's an RIP tour, and they involve front of the line access. It's not only express, they literally will bring you right to the front of the line. If you're coming for like a one night only type thing and you have the money to spare, I'd highly recommend going the RIP route. We've done it before. It's an excellent, excellent way to attend the event because you're guaranteed to get into every house. You'll see all of the scare zones and all of the shows. With that said, let's go take a look around the park and get some more information about this year's event. All right, first things first, if you are coming here and you're an adult, you are probably going to want to stop and get a beverage before you head into the event. Most likely this building will be open. This is the NBC Sports Grill and Brew. It will be loaded with tons of different beer choices as well as food choices for you. Construction is looking really good. It may actually be on time for an opening. It's basically jumped light years ahead over the last 2 weeks. Can't wait to see the giant TV screen that'll be out here. Okay, very important note as you see all these rain clouds up in the air. It will rain while you're here for Halloween Horror Nights. It rains almost every day. If it does not rain during the night or day that you're here for Halloween Horror Nights, count yourself lucky. This is what it looks like now. This is what it shall probably look like in September. That means bring rain gear. As you come over this hill for Halloween Horror Nights, the first thing you're going to notice is that it's going to be packed with people. There is typically sometimes a tent over here for annual pass holders, but it will be a gigantic line here. If you do not get here early, typically the park closes at 5 o'clock during Halloween Horror Nights days, and it will reopen at 6 or 6:30 or so for Halloween Horror Nights. There's a lot of congestion in this area due to the fact that they have metal detectors for this event. You cannot bring in a lot of items. Check the Universal website for the items that are prohibited during the time of the event. I mentioned annual pass holder tents here. Universal has annual pass holder events during typically the first 3 weekends of Halloween Horror Nights, which means if you're an annual pass holder, you can jump the line and get in earlier. You go to these tents and you can get in and get a wristband. In order to sign up for those weekends, you will need to sign up online at the Halloween Horror Nights event or a pass holder page. They typically send out invites or notices to pass holders probably a month before the event starts. What you'll also notice down this line is that towards the Hard Rock Hotel, there's another entranceway to get in for early access if you are staying on site. If you stay on site, you have a separate entrance that you can use your room key for. It saves a lot of time, trust me. The line to get into Halloween Horror Nights at this entranceway, if you don't get here in time for Stay and Scream or for the annual pass holder piece, could be upwards of an hour waiting. Universal will have all kinds of awesome theming that will take place over the Ark and around here with their different house properties. Here's a picture of what it looked like last year. Okay, so now you're in the park. If this was Halloween Horror Nights, starting at the beginning, there are scare actors immediately as soon as you enter the park. These are scare zones. Folks will be roaming and coming up to you and coming behind you at all times to try to scare you. Universal has multiple scare zones at the event, so they'll have an area in the front, they'll have an area up this side, and there's areas around the park, and we'll show you where there's different opportunities that they have different branded scare zones. If you are wondering where some of the houses are, they're not in plain sight for you to see. The houses will either be in sound stages or in pop-up type tents behind the scenes. So the first houses, quote unquote, or mazes that you'll see are in sound stages that are in the back behind Rip Ride Rocket. And we're just walking through another, imagine this scare zone here. Basically, you cannot get from one place in the park to another without getting into another scare zone and the opportunity to have folks coming up to you and getting the best of you. Getting back to houses and mazes, there's a stage back there, that's a sound stage. There'll be a house there. This area is generally used for queuing. At last year's event, this entire area was filled with folks lining up for the Walking Dead house. The sound stages that are back here too are used as well for Halloween Horror Nights. When you line up for some of the houses to get in, it should be noted that some of them are accessed through the facade here for like Twister, as well as going through this back way through the New York Public Library. This area is always one of the biggest scare zones that they employ each year. I'm going to talk a little bit about Stay and Scream. Stay and Scream basically is what it sounds like. If you have a ticket to the park during the day and you have a ticket to Halloween Horror Nights, you're entitled to stay in one of 3 areas before the rest of the population gets in at that giant line that I talked about earlier. You're in a holding area that allows you access into one of the houses before the other folks can get into the park. The New York Stay and Scream area is basically down this street where the Blues Brothers play. The folks that stay in this area and that are held here are able to get into the houses that we showed you earlier by Twister and the New York Public Library. This is one of the better Stay and Scream zones. The area that's currently outside Lucy is another Stay and Scream area, and this generally lets folks in early to the house that's located behind Despicable Me. This year, it's widely believed that one of the sound stages will be the home of Freddy vs. Jason, the property that's already been announced, as well as one of the houses that has been posted by Halloween Horror Nights' Twitter account, unnamed yet. This whole area of Hollywood is one large scare zone as well, always masterfully done. Last year, they did a great job with Face Off that allowed you to take selfies with all of the different characters from the show. The soundstage that's right by the lagoon, by the Hollywood area, I believe is currently for Rock the Universe, but they typically use this space as well for other Halloween Horror Nights props, including stages. Or a couple of years ago, they used this area for Herschel's Barn, which was another additional kind of walkthrough mini scare zone. And so we previously mentioned the annual pass holder nights that Universal runs. This is one of the beginnings of an area that they will hold annual pass holders for the event. There are a lot of folks that sign up for those annual pass holder events. Typically, the line will snake through Central Park and go up through the animal actors. The annual pass holder early entry queue will then lead into Kittyland. Queues will start over by ET and over towards Barney for pop-up houses that are in the back, as well as a parade building that's double used for a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house. Confirmed yesterday was that The Walking Dead will be in the parade house this year, which will be part of the annual pass holder event early entry going this way. It is also rumored on the interwebs that Scream will be one of the houses that's in a pop-up tent in the back as well, although they have not formally announced Scream as a property yet. That one is only rumor right now and speculation. That said, starting tomorrow on HalloweenHorrorNights.com, they'll be announcing a house every Tuesday or scare zone leading up to the big reveal. The last of the pop-up tent houses is typically housed here behind this Coca-Cola machine to the right of Men in Black. You'd enter here and you exit here for this particular house. Last year, this was Halloween. The last Stay and Scream zone last year was located here in Diagon Alley. The rides were not open during Stay and Scream, but the bars were. This Stay and Scream area allowed early access into the house that we just showed you that was behind Men in Black. Coming up to one of the last topics is actually shows that take place at Halloween Horror Nights. And to me, one of the best things about Halloween Horror Nights is the Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure show that takes place every year at Fear Factor Live. The shows will take place multiple times a night. The times board will be located over here. It's one of those can't miss things when you come to Halloween Horror Nights. The other show that typically runs during Halloween Horror Nights is not Beetlejuice, but they will use the Beetlejuice stage for another type of show. In the past, Rocky Horror Picture Show has been a staple here multiple years, but I don't believe that it will be back this year. One of the questions that we get often is whether any of the rides will be open during Halloween Horror Nights. And the answer is yes. Most of the rides are open during Halloween Horror Nights, with the exception of Harry Potter. Gringotts was not open last year, and I do not believe that they'll open Diagon Alley during operating hours for Halloween Horror Nights. I believe that that's more of an issue with J.K. Rowling and the branding of Harry Potter. That said, you can get on rides like Transformers generally with hardly any wait during the event. One of the biggest questions that we get is whether you can record in houses or in the scare zones or at the shows. In houses and or the Bill and Ted show, you are not allowed to use video recorders or any type of photography. If you do, it's grounds for being ejected. In scare zones, you're allowed to shoot video and you can take as many pictures as you want. And that about does it for our little Halloween Horror Nights primer. Alright, we're going to head out for the night. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this and you want to see a follow-up when more houses are announced, there's more information to come, let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to film something like this again. I know that a lot of our viewers come to us by way of Halloween Horror Nights videos, and I want to be sure to cover this well for you guys this year. If there's something I've missed or something you want more information on, let me know in the comments below as well. Alright, we're back home. We're going to call it quits for the night. Thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.